Excuse me, ma'am. Is this the Fremont house?
Yes, it is.
I'm Tim Donovan. I'm with the Tribune.
Oh, Horace Greeley's newspaper. We know Mr. Greeley quite well.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, won't you come in, Mr. Donovan?
Well, thank you.
Now, what can I do for you?
Well, I'd like to talk to General Fremont, if I may.
I'm afraid he isn't here right now.
You see, I'm doing a story that connects the General's role in opening the West to the thousands of Americans who are still flocking there in droves. And, well, if it's not an intrusion, might I have a few words with you?
Why, certainly. Well, won't you sit down, and I'll set a tray for tea.
How old is the General now, if I may ask?
I have to think. I'm 63, and he's 11 years older than I am. That would make him 74, wouldn't it? Yes, that's right, 74.
And you have 3 children, is that right?
John Charles Jr. is in the Navy, and his younger brother Frank is at West Point, and our daughter Lily is a secretary in Manhattan.
And how long have you been living here in the East?
Oh, quite some time now. My husband had some business ventures he wanted to explore in New York. And of course, his publishers are here.
His publishers, ma'am?
Yes, that's right. His memoirs were published this year. I don't suppose you've read them.
No, ma'am. I didn't know anything about them.
Not many people do. It's my opinion the book was excessively priced.
But why Staten Island?
It's all we can afford. Shall we go into the club? Forgive all this madness.
This must be an enormous change for you. I mean, you were billionaires, weren't you?
Well, not exactly. Yes, we were once quite well. I'm afraid neither of us paid as much attention to the Mariposa as we should have. That is the name of our home in California. Mariposa.
Yes, ma'am.
Milk?
Please.
Now, won't you sit down? So many things kept taking the General away. His expedition in '53, and then the war, of course. Things sometimes get away from one, don't they?
Yes, ma'am, they do. Pardon my asking, but how does it feel?
Feel?
Well, yes, your husband losing whatever money was left on that railroad venture.
Yes, Kansas Pacific. That was his dream, you see.
Yes, but then later on, being the governor of the Arizona Territory, it couldn't have paid very much.
No. No, it didn't.
Well, what I'm trying to say, ma'am, is that here you had this empire in California. You came within an ace of being the first lady, and now this, Staten Island, a row house. Didn't all that high life spoil you for this?
Young man, I have bathed in a father's basin under a woolen blanket. I've stirred frijoles in an iron skillet over a half fire. I've shaken with fever in the jungles of Panama and shivered with chilblains in the shadow of the highest air. You are not so naive as to imagine that living in a modest home holds any terrors for me.
I'm sorry if I spoke out of turn. I didn't mean to give offense.
Oh, none was taken.
Well, I was hoping to catch the general. But thank you for your time and the tea. Ma'am, forgive me for this, but this is just plain wrong. The general shouldn't have to live here. Not after fighting those blizzards in the Rockies. Not after running that river when even Carson didn't want to. No, ma'am, not...
You read the journal.
Yes, ma'am. Read him. I'd have given an arm to have been walking there beside him.
I will tell the general when he gets home. I know that he will
Tell
be...
me what, Jessie?
Oh, Charles, this is Mr. Donovan from the Tribune.
The Tribune?
He was just telling me how much he admired your journal.
My journal. My journal. Hell, I didn't write those, you did.
Charles, what are you saying?
No more than the truth. Well, I laid them out, sure, where we went, what we did, the feel, the smell, the glint of it, but I couldn't write I couldn't write it. I couldn't make people see it the way I saw it.
You made me see it, sir, every bit of it.
No, sir, I did not. Mrs. Fremont did.
But you lived. And that's what mattered.
I lived it, yes. That's gone, vanished. What remains is the word. I showed the way, but you fired their hearts into doing. You made them see an empire and dream about it and want to make it their own. My wife struck it in bronze, young man. That was the real triumph.
Oh. Excuse me.
I can't tell you what an honor this is, sir.
Sit down, young man. Pour some more tea.
General's lungs are chronically weak. I dare say as a result of unduly hard living.
Doctor, he climbed where no man dared climb before.
The problem is, this is October. With the cold weather coming, pneumonia will be a certain visitor, even among those of us who are healthier than the general is. If you want some advice, Mrs. Fremont, take him to a warmer climate as soon as possible.
Is that serious?
It's my opinion that the general will not survive another winter here in New York. Sorry.
Thank you, Doctor. How much do I owe you?
worry about that some other time. Take care of him, won't you?
Occurred to me, Mr. Barnett, that some of my experience, both in Europe and the far west, might be of interest to your readers.
Yes, I imagine that they would. But tell me, have you ever done any writing?
Yes, a little.
Well, would you like to try a short piece for us?
Yes, sir, I would. Sir, how much would you pay?
Well, I didn't.
If you like the article, that is.
Yes, of course. I didn't realize this was a matter of...
I'm afraid it is. Mr. Barnett, I must take my husband to California. I need money for the railroad tickets and expenses till we settle there. We have nothing left to sell. How much would you pay me for such an article?
Well, customarily, we pay somewhere in the vicinity of $100.
For how many words?
Well, let's say 1,500.
Could you use 10 such articles at $100 a piece?
10.
Yes, sir.
Well, I suppose. If we like the first one, of course.
Then I shall write 10 for you. If you don't like the first one, there's no obligation. But, sir, if you could accept that one, I'd appreciate your writing checks for the others as I deliver them.
Mrs. Fremont, someone ought to give you a medal.
Checks were suspicious.
You know, Jessie, it was very near here that I first met Kit.
Right here?
I thought he'd burst when I told him I'd never heard of him. We dragged that cannon all the way up those mountains, Jessie. Now they got a railroad. Just the way I would have planned it. Snugged right in the curve of this river. That damn brass cannon. I made a lot of mistakes, didn't I?
Some, darling.
Never did understand politics. Politicians. Yet sometimes I thought I could have led this country. I mean, really led it. And then sometimes I wonder.
You did lead it, Charles. All the way to California.
We had such visions, Jessie. Remember? Limitless horizons. So much to be done. Smell that air, Jessie. We're getting close.
General Fremont? Excuse me, sir, is that you?
Yes, sir.
I thought I recognized you from your pictures. I don't mean to bother you. I just want to let you know how you turned my whole life around, sir.
How's that, sir?
Well, I come out with a small party in '54. Martha carrying your journal on her lap the whole way. We treated it like it was the family Bible.
That's very kind of you.
Ma'am, your husband's journal gave us all the courage we needed. Told us how to get where we were going and what we'd find when we get there. So I just wanted to come up and say thank you for what you did for me and my neighbors all those years ago, sir. And sir, I'd be mighty proud if you were to let my son here shake your hand. Mighty proud, sir.
Of course. Son, nothing in the whole world I'd rather hear than what your father just told me. Thank you, sir.
God bless you, General.
All aboard! Good to meet you.
Thank you, General.
First light. There's the old Arcturus. Flashing away up there. Kid told me I was more than a stargazer. You know, that's the last thing I'd like to see is stars. I'd like that. California.
Yes, darling. We're going home.
Home.
Well, because of the extended final part of Dream West, Werewolf is lying low this week. But if you can wait up until midnight, we've an entire family of werewolves in our great creep show, Monsters. And in the meantime, here on Sky One, we join a young frustrated cop in Police Story. Don't go away.